And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna start right here and show you something that also is going to make that yard look good, because what you're seeing right here is a steel yard trimmer. No wires, no strings, and on top of that, we have 2 flex payment only for the day. So let's switch over to Peter Kilcullen, because Peter is gonna show us how this thing works. And let's see.
Now,
no wires.
you didn't bring your glasses over, so I just want you to stay just over there. Just having your safety glasses on is important, but wait till you see what this Orbitrim can do. If you've used a string trimmer, you know that the biggest hassle about a string trimmer is the string. Look at this disc. You're gonna be amazed at what it can do. So it's gonna make a little noise, but watch how great this cuts your grass, your weeds. It does an amazing job. So simple, so easy. Look at that.
That's good.
Now you can see it spinning right there, and I'm gonna let it stop for you, because I want you to see this. You know what, Alice? Let's just turn this off real quick, because this is what's so incredible about this. I'm actually just using the ground to slow that down. Look at that disc. This is what's so great about this. You saw how well it cut, because if you've used a string trimmer, and you and I talked about this, that string is what's so difficult to cut with. It's constantly cutting it, you're replacing it again and again. What if you could use this Orbitrim and never have to replace it for years and years? There's a 5-year warranty on this. So that spinning disc, here's where the cutting blades are, all in the middle, like a 3-wheel bicycle rim, or 3-spoke, I should say, cutting blades on both sides. So when this is spinning, it is doing an unbelievable job at eliminating the grass, the weeds. It can do the trimming, it can do the edging. But here's the really neat part about this. I want you to see this solar light down here. You know how many of these solar lights?
What did you attach it to?
Oh, yes. It attaches to virtually any gas trimmer. Now, this is specifically for gas power trimmers. It will work with 99% of them out there. We give you all the hardware, and we'll show you that in a minute, to fit whatever gas trimmer you have. And it's a 5-minute process to remove your spool of that really just, cumbersome and very difficult to work with string, and replace it with the Orbitrim. You're gonna love it. But here's why we have this in that disc shape. Now, we sell how many of these solar lights? Loads and loads of solar lights.
Right.
Here's what happens with that string trimmer. When you go against something like this solar light, it starts to do a lot of damage to that. Now, this light could be your mailbox post. It could be the plants and flowers. And if it has that string, it does damage. With this, I can go right up to it, and it's got that protective disc on the outside, so it is not going to do any damage. Real quick, I'm going to fire that up again, Alice. Let's take it off the off, then we'll do it that way. That's always better.
Good plan.
Now, so watch when this starts spinning, and I want to show you that I can get the grass as I get close, but I'm not doing any damage to that solar light. That is the difference with the Orbitrim. Look at that. That is why I love this, and it's so simple to attach to your gas trimmer. You're absolutely gonna love it. So Alice, let's turn this off again. Let's go over there, and I'll be able to show everyone exactly how easy it is to fit to your gas trimmer. You're gonna love it. You know what, I'm gonna take this with me, because I wanna show you.
And I'd love for you to really look at this video. Look at how smart this is. It's so interesting. I think that a lot of us have used those little, I don't know, is it a string?
Yeah, it's like I'll show you right here.
It's like a whip, and it always kind of scares me, because I can't see where the edges of it are. So, you never know when it's getting too close to something.
You've done some trimming.
Well, I have. I own one.
You know, that's exactly.
Look
at it near those flowers. What would that happen if you were using a string trimmer next to those flowers?
Those things like crazy.
Exactly.
And now you know exactly where you need to go, because you actually have a guide. I love the guide. But these are steel blades, right?
Yes.
This is steel blades.
Now, maybe you've seen this on television elsewhere on the infomercial. This is the upgraded stainless steel version, which I think is amazing. I mean, if you're going to have an Orbitrim like this, you definitely want that stainless steel version. We're giving you that. So here's what we're replacing. So no longer do you have to deal with this. You know what this is like, and then you have to replace it, get all the string in there, and you go through it again and again, and then you're going back to the store trying to find your string. Maybe you have this one, and you're trying to replace that, and you see how the ends get cut off again and again. This is going to replace all of that. It's going to replace the hassle of using a string trimmer. I was blown away when I saw this and got a chance to use it at home, because it does an amazing job. So much power. difficult high weeds, shorter grass. It can be the detail tool that you really need around those areas. So let me, there it is again around, everyone knows if they use a string trimmer, you have your mailbox post, and it is just chewed up. There's no paint left around the bottom. It's almost ready to cut it down because it gets really narrow down the bottom where it just chews up, that kind of thing. Look at it in the high grass.
Yeah.
I mean, it powers through there.
Because, you know, how could you possibly tackle something like that with something that's like a little string? How many times have you broken that string? I mean, those things break all the time.
Do you know, if you have...
This is steel.
You know, many of them have that bump feed, and you know that you tap it on the ground. You do it over and over again to keep making sure you have enough string out there. And then the unit actually cuts that string for you. Not to mention when you go near the sidewalk or near something like the post, it's constantly going through that string. You're constantly replacing it. You're going out to do your trimming. All of a sudden, you don't have any string left. But now you're going to move to the Orbitrim, and you are going to love it. Here's what we have. There's the Orbitrim. You're getting that. This is what you currently have. You're getting rid of that. Here's all the hardware that you're going to need. So it doesn't matter what type of gas trimmer you have, you are going to be able to use the Orbitrim. 99% of them, all the major models, if you go to any of those big stores, they are going to have a gas trimmer that this Orbitrim will fit, and you are going to love it. So let's go back. You know, we're seeing on the video how powerful it is, but I want to show you what this looks like. I'm going to first do it without turning it on. So here are your flowers, and you can see how when I'm using that disc on the outside, I'm just able to push those flowers back. Let me move over to the front so you can see that. So I'm not whipping into the flowers. I know where that edge is, and I can just get right up against them without doing damage. Same thing with that post. So if I want to get close to the post, I'm not just whipping it and destroying everything with that string. That's the difference. But all in here, these are all those cutting blades, and you are absolutely going to love it. So let me take it back down on the grass, and I want to show you also, you know what's so cool about this is that it also is an edger. When you see this edge, and that might have been the thing that impressed me the most, was using this as an edger. It was fantastic.
All right, I'm going to remind you that this is $24.95 on that is working. Not only is it working beautifully, it's going to have that guide of that edge all the way around it. This is the best value anywhere. If you've been seeing the infomercial, it's because it's frankly one of the hottest products out there. But our value is the best. 2 flex payments only for today, will expire at midnight. You know what? Get it home. Try it, attach it. It takes a couple of minutes to attach. This is just, you know, screw it on. So it's very, very simple. But what a much better design than those strings that break constantly and frankly tear up all your flowers and everything else because you have no guide.
Alice, I've got to keep turning this off because I got to show you that.
You've got to see, how close can we get? I mean, here's what I want you to see. Not a single mark right here, okay? Not a single mark. But do you see one blade of grass that
Isn't that
not
amazing?
Perfectly done? Right over here too. Okay, that's what's so incredible. You have that guide, so it will get right up here, so you don't have this like little, you know, remainder there that you kind of like.
And it's so fast. Alice, I want you to see this area, and I did it very quickly, but you can see the difference right there. And here's where I started using it as an edger, where you can turn this vertically like that and use it as an edger. I think it's phenomenal. So I think you will love that.
See this at home, but
let me do again. We can see there. Let me do this edge right here. Okay. Let's try this side.
All right.
So I can do it. I can run along this edge, and I can show you more on there. But it really is amazing when you see that you can turn it vertically like that, and now you're using it as an edger. It does an excellent job.
Perfect.
Look at that.
Perfect.
And then you're getting in between all these areas right here. And same thing, even as I hit that light, it did no damage to the light. So everywhere you want to go, this is going to be exactly what you want. It's going to make those detailed edging areas so much easier. And that was just one push through there. It is so simple. You're never worrying about the string, replacing the string. You get a lot of power with this, a lot of cutting ability. And remember, you're getting the upgraded Deluxe model, that stainless steel model that is gonna last and last.
It's gonna last and last, but these will not last and last. As a matter of fact, we brought in a limited quantity of these and already extremely popular, guys. Express ordering, hsn.com, your best way through. You know, the investment of $24.95, 2 flex payments, but this is something, I'm not sure, you know, Peter, I'm not sure when you would have to replace this because frankly, it's stainless steel. All right, the other ones that you see out there, a lot of the other ones are not stainless steel, and that's the beauty of this, the quality of what you're getting. And then, again, the precision with which you're able to cut because it has that border around it, and because it's stainless steel blades, I mean, just stop, it makes perfect sense. $24.95, grab it. We're gonna go back over and Peter's gonna show you some other ways you're gonna use this. But
I think it's fantastic. Just for large areas, it makes it so fast to just cut through that grass. I mean, high grass or short grass, this does an amazing job all around the yard and never worrying about that string ever again. To me, it's the best thing about this. It really will take care of that grass. And Alice, there's one more thing I want to show you. Now, we don't really have any great hedges. These have all been trimmed, but this works incredibly well, even to trim those hedges up just like that, where you can use it vertically. So, again, with those hedges, it is absolutely amazing.
Right, because it can tackle the hedges, because why? It's stainless steel. Exactly. You've got a stainless steel blade. I mean, that is so powerful compared to these little strings that whip around that, let's face it, I didn't even know how many times you've replaced yours. I know how many times I've replaced mine.
Exactly. So you've got a better trimmer that won't do damage to flowers or the mailbox post or the fence. You've got an edger where you can use it this way. You can use it vertically on those hedges as well. You will absolutely love this, and you'll never have to think about that string ever again. I mean, this thing is so powerful. 5-year warranty. I absolutely love it. I mean, it just floats across the grass.
The truth is, if you just have like a little area, this may be all you need.
Well, large area or small area. I've only been doing this for a few minutes. I keep turning it off. But you could cover this whole area. You could get that beautiful sharp edge with this. Remember, you turn it vertically. I'm going to stop that for you so you can see that. That disc is what does all the damage to the weeds and all the grass with the blades in the middle. But that protective disc on the outside will amaze you. This is something that you're not going to have to replace. There's a 5-year warranty. I think that's incredible. If you have a gas trimmer, you've got to try this.
For $24.95, it comes with a 5-year warranty. Let's walk back over real quick.
Yeah.
Because I just want to show you guys, again, what this looks like, so you can see the quality and so that you know, because I want you to understand, if you do see that infomercial, which I don't know how you could miss it, it is in heavy rotation because it has become so popular. What I want you to know is this is the top of the line.
Right.
This is the one that has the stainless steel. See, we even have plastic around this because this is stainless steel.
Yeah, that's where the blades are. It even lets you know on there that it is sharp. It says it's sharp on here because those are the blades. They're not going to dull. You've got a lot of high RPM. It does such a great job. Here's the thing. This will attach to 99% of those gas power trimmers that are out there. If you go one of those stores that we all know, it's going to fit one of their gas trimmers. And we give you all the hardware to do this. And here's the great thing about this. Putting that string in can take forever. It's such a hassle. This will take you 5 minutes to add your Orbitrim, and you will love it.
It works better. It's $24.95. It's on 2 flex only for today. And please express ordering. We are fast approaching 1,000 of these ordered.
It's cool.
And this is the first presentation. Great. Thanks for bringing that to us.
Alice. I appreciate it. Thank you.